All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of Vietnam's economic boom. Seriously, what's happening there is turning heads all across Asia, and really, the entire world.
So let's just jump right in. The numbers for the second quarter of 2025 are out, and wow, the story they tell is just stunning. You can see Vietnam's economy didn't just grow, it absolutely skyrocketed, leaving all of its regional neighbors way behind. I mean, this isn't just a gap, it's a chasm.
And here's the number that's causing all the buzz, 7.96%. Just think about that. In a global economy where a lot of countries are struggling, a number like this is, well, it's extraordinary. Which of course leads to the big question. How on earth are they pulling this off?
Well, the secret sauce seems to be a really powerful two-pronged strategy. The best way to think about it is like a rocket with twin engines, both firing in perfect sync. One engine is revving up the economy from the inside, while the other is pulling in massive power from the outside.
Okay, so here's how those engines break down. The first one, let's call it domestic fuel. The government is making money cheap. They're using what's called an accommodative monetary policy, basically lowering interest rates so it's easier for businesses to borrow and expand and for people to spend. And at the exact same time, that second engine, foreign confidence, is just firing on all cylinders. International investment is pouring in like never before.
And to really get a sense of the scale of this domestic push, get this, more than $60 billion was pumped directly into the economy in just the first 7 months of the year. That is a massive injection of cash, fueling everything from small businesses to big consumer spending.
And that foreign confidence engine, it's just as powerful. You can see here, after years of pretty steady, solid growth, foreign direct investment, FDI, just exploded in 2025. It hit a record $21.5 billion in just the first half of the year.
So you might be asking, why this sudden surge? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle is global geopolitics. With the ongoing trade tensions between the US and China, companies are scrambling to find new places to make their goods. And Vietnam has positioned itself perfectly to be their #1 destination, a way to sidestep all those tariffs.
But here's the thing. This boom isn't just about seizing a short-term opportunity. No, Vietnam is making a colossal bet on its future. They are literally laying down the concrete and steel foundation for decades of growth to come.
The government has committed a staggering $48 billion to a new infrastructure program. Now, to put that number into perspective, that's about 13% of the country's entire GDP. We're talking about a nation-building project on a truly epic scale.
And you know what? They're not footing the bill alone. This whole plan is a massive public-private partnership. While the state is kicking in $18 billion, the majority, a full $30 billion, is coming from private and foreign investors. That, right there, shows you just how much confidence the rest of the world has in Vietnam's future.
And the payoff is expected to be huge. In the short term, it's going to add up to a full percentage point to GDP. Long term, the World Bank thinks it could boost annual growth by up to 2%. But for everyday people, the impact is just transformative. Can you imagine a drive that used to take 30 hours, like from Hanoi to Da Nang, being cut down to just 12? That's a game changer. Okay, so all of this real-world economic energy is now spilling over into the country's financial markets. After being pretty quiet for a few years, Vietnam's stock market is absolutely buzzing, and it's being driven by some huge IPOs and some really incredible corporate comeback stories.
We're seeing a whole wave of major companies, from big securities firms like TCB to retail giants like Thay Doi Duc, getting ready to go public. These aren't small deals either. We're talking multi-billion-dollar offerings. It's a clear signal that Vietnam's capital markets are really starting to mature.
But you know, to really feel this economic energy, sometimes it helps to zoom in from the big picture to the story of a single company. So let's talk about Minh Phu Corporation, better known as the King of Shrimp.
After a rough couple of years with losses, the country's biggest shrimp exporter has staged a spectacular comeback. They restructured, they focused on higher profit products, and look what happened. Their profits surged from 40 billion dong to 179 billion in the first half of the year. And just look at those forecasts. They're expecting to basically double their profits again next year. It's the perfect little story of the bigger boom.
So, let's pull all of this together. What have we really learned here? Vietnam's incredible economic story seems to be standing on 4 really solid pillars.
So it's really built on these 4 things working together.
You've got that aggressive domestic policy pumping cash into the system. You have this magnetic appeal to foreign investors who are looking for a safe haven from trade wars. You have this massive long-term bet on infrastructure. And finally, you have a financial market that's finally mature enough to let its corporate champions really succeed.
But this story is far from over. The government isn't resting. They're now targeting an almost unbelievable 10% GDP growth for 2026 and 2027. So that brings us to the ultimate question. Can this economic rocket defy gravity and actually stay in orbit?